Hello there, Croeso and welcome. I'm Shadow Lemix and today I'm playing Generation Zero, one of the PlayStation Plus essential games that we've been given for September. And this is an indie game in a way, not tiny team, but still. It's a first-person survival game with single player, but you can be played co-op as well online, either through invites or just by opening up your game and letting people join, or you can join other people's games. And this is footage now from the beginning of the game, and this is set in 1980s Sweden, and a mysterious mech invasion has appeared out of nowhere and devastated the island. And you, as a lone random Swede, must find out what's going on just to survive. See if there are other survivors, see the scale of this invasion, and the intro missions will teach you about the various aspects of the game and where you can loot stuff, where you can get ammo and weapons, and how to fight the mechs and how to deal with the mechs as they come around. And the purpose of this video will be to sort of help you with a few things about how this game plays, but also to show you how the game plays as well, so you can decide for yourself if this is your cup of tea. Not all games are for everyone, and this is my very first tip. Go into the settings and change that look and aim sensitivity. It's on max. I settle on 4. It smooths out the controls, makes everything feel a lot less clunky. And as I said, the intro missions are here they'll teach you about various different points of the game and will guide you through getting to the safe houses, and will then open up the rest of the missions as well. Also showing you how to use some of the equipment here, like the binoculars, which can be used to scout out the area, see the enemies, and then later on you can upgrade your skills and the binoculars so you can get extra vision mode so you can see other details about the machines you're looking at. And this equipment will be put onto your equipment wheel, which is accessed by holding R1, and it's automatically equipped to begin with, but you can go into your inventory by pressing the touchpad and scrolling to the inventory menu, and then assigning the item to the item wheel by pressing X. And as you can see, there are some quick selection options on the item wheel. So you can hold L1 and then hit triangle, square, X or circle to quick select an item. And then apart from the looting and the surviving, the next part of the main part of the game is the combat against these mechs here. These are one of the basic mechs you come across. And the combat is challenging, but fair. These are machines that are supposed to be from the 1980s, and they move as such. Quite simple movements. They'll always move, get your position, and then fire. As you can see, I got a bit of high ground here for this, hitting some weak points on the machines, and all the machines will have their weak points and armor points. And different weapons are better at getting through armor or destroying weak points. You'll find little helpful pictures drawn by survivors throughout Sweden, showing you how to fight the mechs. You see, you've got a bigger one here, and while the combat is challenging, it does feel fair. You can use cover to your advantage. The enemies aren't too quick. Everything feels quite nicely balanced. You do a fair amount of damage, and the enemies do a fair amount of damage to you. So you've got to be quite careful with that. even though it is a survival game, resources such as ammo and first aid packs for healing aren't that uncommon, and from the crafting system and recycling system, which will be the next part of the video, so these resources aren't that uncommon. So you can, after the initial part of the game, after you've done the intro missions, you can start really getting into the combat of this game and the exploration, especially once you've done the intro missions. You'll be able to unlock the missions to get yourself your own robot companion, which will greatly help you out when exploring the overworld, and to access base building and base raiding. And I will show one of the base raids at the end of the game
Enemies.
and explain a bit more about the base building here. As you can see, the game is online as well. As you can see, me and my friends here using our baseball bats to make short work of some enemies. There isn't any real penalty for dying. Once you die, you just respawn back at a known safe house. So if you've travelled quite far from a safe house, you're going to have to backtrack a bit. But if you are online, you can revive your comrades, and so they can carry on in the fight. But you do need to use an adrenaline shot when you are reviving them. And then the next parts then are about the profiles here. So this is your equipment, your clothes screen, and as you can see, there are different benefits on your clothes that give stuff like visibility reduction, noise reduction, and through the schematics you can actually add to the clothes, add bonuses to them. The schematics here are earned through building stuff and through doing stuff in the game, and they'll tell you when you look at the actual schematics how you earn the schematics points to purchase new schematics. And we've also got the ability to create vehicles to help us move between areas. But the bike is not the best vehicle off-road. Granted, this terrain isn't the most ideal for riding a bike, but I rode bikes off-road as a kid. Bikes that probably weren't meant to be ridden off-road, and they did quite well. But when you keep them on the road, it is a decent form of travel. And as an added benefit, it is completely silent, so you can sneak past the machines just by riding past them. As I said, the machines are tough but fair. These are machines from the 80s. They don't have great technology, so if you're not directly in their line of sight and you're silent, they can't hear you. But then later on, you start upgrading your the vehicles you get. Got the motorbike here, which just gives you better ways of doing stupid stuff to yourself. And then once the intro missions are done, you will unlock the wider part of the game. As I said, the base building, the companions, and you've got weekly and daily tasks which you can get from that computer with the star-shaped symbol on it. Got a very simple one here, which is just recycle some items. So you go to the recycling station, break down some items, don't have to go claim anything or say that you complete anything, it'll happen automatically. Then you just go back to the chest with the star symbol on it, and you will collect your rewards from there. Here we have the consumable station. This is for crafting your ammo and your equipment. You can see the resources you need on the right to build whatever you need, and you get schematic points for ammo and equipment whenever you build stuff. So the more things you build, the more schematics you can unlock, the more things you can build. This is the recycling station where you can break down items you no longer need or ammo you don't use, You just select the item you need, you break it down, and it gets stored in the recycling station, which is then accessible through any other recycling stations or crafting stations throughout the world. Got your apparel crafting station here where you can craft bonuses to add to items of clothing you already have. So if you've got a particular outfit you like, you can then add the bonuses you have. You've just got to unlock the schematics through the schematics menu, and then you add the bonus. But if it's already got a bonus, then adding one will remove the existing one. Got your storage boxes here. These are in every single safe house. Most safe houses have a consumable station, but they don't have everything else. But they'll always have a storage box here, and the items transfer between the worlds. And it is an RPG as well, and no RPG would be complete without a skill menu and skill tree here. You gain XP through combat and through doing missions. You unlock the skills. Some have 2 levels, and it'll tell you what each level does. Others just is 1 point, and that's all you need in the skill to unlock everything. And then, as I said, the last thing I'm going to show you here is the base raid. And once you've done the intro mission, I highly suggest the first 2 missions you do are making friends and building bases, or building blocks, I think the mission's called. And that'll unlock the companions and the base building, which you do through the base raids. What the situation is that the machines have built a base here which is churning out more machines. I know, machines building machines, how perverse. And it's something we must put a stop to. The structures themselves, though, that the machines have built are all completely destructible. And it's one of the rare examples of a completely destructible environment in this game. There is a power generator in the middle of the base that we need to get rid of. And the way to do that is by fighting your way through. The destructible environments mean that the best way is usually just to blow your way through there. And I think that's how the developers sort of want you to do it, because they give you this rocket launcher just beforehand. I actually had already found one and had crafted a load of rockets. So I decided the best bet would be to just blow a hole straight through the base and into the power generator. Once you do get in, there will be these 2 sub-generators that are shielding the main center point. You need to destroy them before you can start attacking the actual power source for the station. There will also be something in here that will spawn new machines. One of the other reasons I've gone for the distance rocket launchers from a distance approach is that the outside of these bases have turrets which will tear you to pieces. So I found it best just to hang around the outside and just blast my way in. Got a companion out that is doing a fine job of tanking for me so I can carry on with the combat. And after a while I give up on the guns and just move back to the rocket launchers to just help clear out everything. You'll see that this is the very first base raid I did and the first one I come across, so it takes me a while to figure out the exact strategy I should be using. I probably waste a lot of rockets and grenades just aimlessly blowing things up, but it gives you a good idea of what the sort of main game will encompass. So I'll leave you with the rest of this, and I just want to say diolch and thank you for watching.
base is down.
I knew you could do it! That was awesome!
Okay, we should make sure the machines can't build another base over there. They're clearly interested in the area. This place might be worth protecting.